Did you know that many people lose money not because they don't earn enough, but because they make critical mistakes without realizing it? Even worse, these mistakes might be happening in your life right now. And the crazy thing is, even major investors have fallen into these traps before figuring out how to avoid them. But today, you have the chance to learn from the teachings of Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors ever, and make sure your money is safe and growing over time. What separates wealthy people from those who are always struggling financially isn't just income, but the decisions they make with the money they earn. Small financial slip-ups might seem harmless at first, but over time, they add up and create a hole that's hard to climb out of. Imagine someone who earns a good salary, but is always in debt. How is that possible? The answer lies in the mistakes we're about to reveal. And don't think these mistakes are only for people who don't know much about money. The truth is, most people make at least one of them at some point in their lives. And that's exactly why wealth isn't just about earning more, but about knowing how to manage what you have. You can work your whole life, earn a great salary, and still end up with nothing. It's happened to athletes, artists, business owners, and even investors who ignored the basic principles of good financial management. The problem is, most people only realize their mistakes when it's too late. When debts pile up, investments disappear, and the dream of financial freedom becomes a nightmare. But you don't have to go through that. You can learn right now how to identify and avoid these mistakes before they destroy your finances. And to do that, we need to understand the first big mistake that wipes out so many people's money without them even realizing it. This mistake is one of the most common and dangerous because it happens silently, eroding your wealth without you noticing. The worst part? It might be happening to you right now, and if it's not fixed, it could completely compromise your financial future. And this fatal mistake, which destroys the money of millions of people every day, is spending more than you earn. It might seem obvious at first glance, but the truth is, most people don't even realize they're falling into this trap. We live in a society where rampant consumerism is encouraged at every turn. New phone releases, cars, clothes, vacations, and everything else marketing can offer make people feel like they need to spend more to feel good. The problem is, this mindset creates a vicious cycle. People start spending out of control, often using credit cards or loans, believing they can pay it all off later. But that later never comes as expected, and when they realize it, they're already drowning in debt that's growing faster than their income. The big problem with this mistake is that it not only prevents a person from accumulating wealth, but also puts them in a constant state of financial stress. Imagine waking up every day knowing that a good portion of your paycheck is already committed to bills, interest, and installments. It's like running on a treadmill without ever getting anywhere. This makes many people feel like they'll never have enough money when the problem isn't their income, but how the money is managed. Warren Buffett always says that the key to building wealth isn't how much you earn, but how much you can keep. It doesn't matter if you earn $2,000 or $20,000 a month. If you spend it all or even more than that, you'll never be able to build a solid financial future. And that's the crucial point. To avoid this mistake, you need to change your mindset about money. Instead of spending first and seeing what's left at the end of the month, the right strategy is to reverse that order. First, pay yourself. Set aside a portion of your income to invest and build your financial reserve. Only then do you decide how much you can spend. This simple change makes all the difference in the long run. Now, if spending more than you earn is already a serious mistake, imagine the impact of not knowing where your money is going. That's the second fatal mistake we're going to explore now, and it might be even more dangerous than you think. And the second fatal mistake that destroys the money of many people without them realizing it is not knowing exactly where it's going. If you ask most people how much they spent last month, they might remember some larger expenses, but they'll hardly be able to say precisely how much money went out, and, more importantly, on what. This happens because many small daily expenses go unnoticed. the coffee at the bakery, that streaming subscription you don't even use, the impulse purchase at the mall. All of this seems insignificant at the moment, but added up over the month, it can represent a large portion of your income evaporating without you realizing it. And the worst part, because these expenses are fragmented, the feeling that the money disappeared without explanation becomes even more frustrating. Warren Buffett always said that one of the secrets to building wealth is having total control over your money. If you don't know exactly how much comes in and how much goes out, you're at the mercy of chance, and you'll hardly be able to grow financially. Many people believe that all they need to do is earn more money to solve their financial problems, but reality proves otherwise. There are countless cases of people who significantly increased their income, but continued to have financial difficulties simply because they didn't have an efficient control system. And here's the secret. It doesn't matter how much you earn if you don't know how to manage it. You'll always feel like money isn't enough. The good news is that this mistake can be corrected with something simple but extremely powerful: the habit of recording and tracking your finances. This can be done in various ways, whether through a financial control app, a spreadsheet, or even a notebook. The important thing is that you create the habit of writing down every expense, every income, and reviewing it regularly. This simple act makes you aware of your consumption patterns and clearly identifies where you can cut unnecessary expenses. Often, small changes, such as eliminating unused subscriptions or reducing impulse purchases, already make a huge difference in the budget. And here comes one of the biggest challenges. Even when people start controlling their finances, many of them fall into the next fatal mistake, which can be even more destructive. It's not enough to just know where your money is going, you also need to make the right decisions about how to make it grow. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about now. Knowing where your money is going is a fundamental step, but it's not enough to just control it. The third fatal mistake that destroys the wealth of many people is not investing correctly. And this mistake can be even more harmful than simply spending out of control, because it directly affects your financial future. If your money isn't working for you, it's losing value over time, and the culprit is inflation. Every year, the purchasing power of your money decreases. $100 today doesn't buy the same as it did 5 years ago, and in 5 years, it will buy even less. This means that if you're not investing, your money is, in practice, shrinking. Warren Buffett has always emphasized that one of the secrets to building wealth is to make money work for you, not the other way around. But what do many people do? They leave their money sitting in their checking account or savings account, believing they are safe. But this security is an illusion. The return on savings accounts, for example, is extremely low and often loses out to inflation, which means that, over the years, your money is actually devaluing. And it doesn't stop there. Some people even try to invest, but end up making an even more serious mistake. They invest without knowledge, betting on miraculous promises of quick profit or putting all their capital into just one asset without diversification. And the result? Huge losses that could have been avoided with a simple and well-structured strategy. Investing correctly doesn't mean looking for quick and risky gains, but following a solid and consistent strategy over time. And that's the main lesson Buffett teaches. He didn't become a billionaire overnight. His wealth was built with patience, choosing solid investments, and maintaining a long-term vision. This means that, for those who want a stable financial future, it's not enough to just cut expenses or control spending. You need to make your money grow in the right way, investing in safe and diversified assets that actually generate appreciation over the years. And here comes one of the biggest challenges. Even those who learn to invest can end up falling into the next fatal mistake, which is often fueled by haste and greed. The desire for immediate results makes many people ignore one of the greatest truths in the financial world. Building wealth is a long-term game, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about now. Many people who start investing fall into the illusion that they can get rich quickly. This is the fourth fatal mistake, not thinking long-term. We live in the age of instant gratification, where everything seems to happen quickly and immediately. You order food, and it arrives in minutes. You buy something online and receive it the same day. You watch short videos that deliver entertainment effortlessly. And this mindset of speed ends up being taken to finances. Many want significant results in a short time and forget the most important rule of the financial market. Wealth is built with patience and consistency. Warren Buffett always says that the financial market is a mechanism for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. This is because those who seek quick gains usually take too much risk, enter into investments without fundamentals, buy high and sell low for fear of losing money. The result? Constant losses. Meanwhile, those who have patience and a long-term vision reap the rewards of the continuous appreciation of their investments. And the most curious thing? Most people underestimate the power of compound interest, one of the greatest allies for building wealth. When you invest and reinvest your earnings over the years, your money grows exponentially. In the beginning, the results seem small, but over time, the numbers begin to increase in an impressive way. But this mistake doesn't just happen to investors. It also affects those who want to solve financial problems quickly and end up falling into traps such as loans with abusive interest rates, risky bets, and even get-rich-quick schemes that promise unrealistic returns. Haste is the enemy of prosperity, and those who try to accelerate the process often regress financially. The right path is not the fastest, but the safest and most sustainable. To avoid this mistake, you need to change your mindset and accept that building wealth takes time. Instead of looking for shortcuts, the focus should be on making good choices and maintaining them over the years. But even those who think long-term can be making an even more serious mistake. There's no point in having good financial strategies if you're not prepared for unforeseen events. And this is the fifth and final fatal mistake that can wipe out your money once and for all. No matter how much you control your spending, know where your money is going, invest correctly, and have a long-term mindset. None of that will be enough if you're not prepared for life's unexpected events. And this is the fifth fatal mistake that can destroy your financial security in a matter of days, not having an emergency fund. The truth is, no one is immune to unexpected problems. A health issue, an unexpected layoff, an economic crisis, an expensive car repair, or an unforeseen family emergency can arise when you least expect it. And when that happens, the difference between staying in control or going into despair lies in your ability to deal with the situation without compromising everything you've built so far. What do many people do when they face a financial emergency? They resort to credit cards, take out loans with high interest rates, or even sell investments at bad times, accumulating even more losses. This creates a domino effect where a single problem can turn into a financial hole that's hard to get out of. Warren Buffett has always warned about the importance of financial predictability and preparing for difficult times. After all, what builds wealth is not only what you earn, but what you can maintain even in the face of adversity. And the solution to this mistake is simple, but extremely powerful. Build an emergency fund. This money should be enough to cover at least 6 months of your essential expenses and needs to be in a safe and easily accessible location, such as an investment with immediate liquidity. With that, any unforeseen event will be just a temporary setback, not a financial disaster. But the truth is that few people do this. Many prefer to spend everything they earn, trusting that nothing bad will happen, until one day it does. And then they realize too late that they could have avoided major problems if they had prepared beforehand. Now that you know the 5 fatal mistakes that can ruin your finances, it's time to take action. Which of these mistakes have you made? Comment down below. And if you want more tips to build a solid financial future, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next videos. Remember, the difference between those who thrive financially and those who are always struggling isn't luck, but the decisions they make every day. Now that you have this knowledge, it's up to you to use it to ensure a secure and prosperous financial future.